Okay, demeanor, body language, and Marco Rubio. So Marco Rubio, his demeanor and body language looks like very dejected, and the wind taking out his sails over the last few years. And if you look at the true skill set of the people around Trump, Marco Rubio is one of the much rarer ones that have things that he knows about and has skill set to apply. Marco Rubio is the 72nd United States Secretary of State and acting as a national security advisor. Can you imagine that? Imagine yourself being a national security advisor for Donald Trump when Donald Trump himself is a threat to your own national security. You ask a narcissist to do something that is better for the whole country, they're going to do the exact opposite because narcissists will always rebel about advice doing something for sense and sensibility because how dare other people know better than them, and they will do the exact opposite. That happens a lot. Marco Rubio, you poor man. I would say I've got some sympathy for this, even though he's very weak now. A lot of people will say, "Oh, this weak Marco Rubio guy, what the hell's wrong with him? He's so weak and it seems useless." That's because he knows. Because he's more intelligent than to sit and just repeat a load of garbage. And if he has, it's probably just to go along with the cult bullshit during a time in which he has no control anyway. He doesn't know. He can't do anything about it. He can't do his job because he's got this idiocy surrounding him. His face looks like it's about to fall off. This kind of dejected look and the hands in front of him, the fingers interlocked in this way. And you look further down the line, there's a lot of people doing similar. But further down the line, further back there, it looks like that way. It's a bit blurry, but it's like a little bit more blurry. But I think those hands are a little bit more open. Yeah, this is a body language thing where people do that. That's self-soothing. And bit of tension there. The one eyebrow kind of up a little bit. The downturn of the mouth. The sleepy kind of eyelids there because he's probably exhausted. This is an exhausted and high tension look. He is exhausted with all the energy and input he has to do to try and convince Trump to do a right thing. And that's impossible. Trump doesn't know what right from wrong is. Yeah. So he's got this dual role, national security advisor, and this he's a 72nd United States Secretary of State. Yeah. He wouldn't be, if you look at J.D. Vance, he's a shit-eating grin, and because he doesn't know, he doesn't understand what's at stake, what is really going on. Whereas Marco Rubio does, and it's going to affect his demeanor because he understands this, and it's going to cause a lot of emotion. Yeah. So he's got this dual role that was basically, I think it's Henry Kissinger in 1975 he's the first person since Henry Kissinger to have a dual role like that. Secretary of State and a national security advisor. So Kissinger was a Republican from Florida. Rubio previously served in the United States Senate from 2011. Yeah, 2011. I know it was up to 2025 anyway. And he's the first Hispanic to hold office of Secretary of State. Yeah. It's just crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is a little report. I might, I do some of these over the coming weeks or months or whatever for this channel. Here and there, among other things, is Extraordinary Minds Project Network report. How many of you already thought about this, though? You might have looked at Rubio and thinking, oh, he's so weak, he's so dejected, where's the energy? Well, you'd be like that too if you was a national security advisor to a president who's a threat to your national security, like Trump. Think about it. That's why you got to realize this is a domino effect. There are side effects here, and it affects people individually. I mean, I'm not religious by any stretch of the imagination, but I guess a religious person could say this is a result of your soul being sold. Because he looks soulless, he's dejected, he's got nothing he can do to apply his skill set to be applied. He might advise, but nothing's applied here because he's up against a brick wall of this complete idiotic, delusional oligarch bullshit. The Trump administration, when Trump himself, his health is just gone. There he is, literally shitting himself, as well as figuratively. It looks like he wears an adult nappy because the clothing is a bit bulged around the area. Gross, falling asleep, forgetting where he is, why he's there. Conversation is very simplistic. Like he doesn't care what's going on, and he's shitting himself. He's falling asleep mid conversation of things going on. Yeah. And he had the goal, but that's why he had the goal, to go on and on about Biden, because he knew it was happening to him, and he's trying to fight it off. But now and Biden was nowhere near doing what he's doing right now when Biden was in power. He's also excessively obsessed with Obama. I guarantee if you ask who was in power before him, he'd probably say Obama, not thinking it was Biden. Because he doesn't talk about Biden anymore, as if he's forgotten Biden exists. He's very jealous of Obama. I didn't really like Obama, but yes, he's got charisma, and he's a good talker. Yeah, he's a very healthy individual relative to others. America's decline was kicked off a lot more during the Bush administration, I think. And there's a cult of using idiots like this as entertainment rather than doing something about it. In America, America's like a cult factory. It is a cult, it really is, because of the disdain for true education and facts, and the average American just is so confused. He doesn't know what's factual and what isn't now, because it's just a mess. A prioritization of objective facts versus subjective experience. It's unbalanced, and it's a mess. And the hyper individualism, my words aren't individualism, sorry, I'm a little tired, so my words sort of stumble. The hyper individualism is a thing, and I don't know what can be put to America as a whole country to realize why that's a really bad thing. The grandiose, like everything's a competition, everything's a celebrity contest almost, especially when so-called politics is in your politics. But you don't do politics, you do a popularity contest. And some attributes of that have been shown as ugly, disgusting head in the UK in our politics. Nigel Farage, for instance. Yeah. Popularity contest, and it was Farage's whole demeanor is disgusting and slimy. He's a manipulator. You can see it. That's why you get that feeling that you don't quite understand when you look at Farage. Some people have expressed that. I don't know what it is about him, but I don't like him. It's like he's too this or that. It's like yeah. I'll get into a whole take on body language, the nuances of it in a few weeks. We'll get there. Of those who want me to do that, have some patience. It will come out, and I do want to do that. It's gonna be. I'll put a number of videos out, like part 1, part 2, part 3. And there are a lot of nuances that people assume about body language and say, oh, they did this or did that. And they're taking these one things. You've got to look at body language clusters. I'll make another video about this AI thing and that claims to be a real person. You know, somebody was making a video claiming this is 100% human made, no AI used. And then you see this so-called Dr. John podcast thing, and the person that they want you to believe is Dr. John, I think, is clearly an AI. It's the robotic way it's speaking and the robotic bits in the body language cues. You can see it straight away. And it'd be interesting if you do an experiment of when I show that and watch and just try to replicate that, and you will feel literally like there's severed bits are cut away from your communication skills. It's like you've been paralyzed a little bit here and there. If you try to replicate that, they had the goal though to put in their video all across. It's a logo and a bit of text logo thing in the whole video, claiming that this is 100%. Yeah. Beware of those boasting things that claim there's something all the time, all the way through what they're doing. I told people that time and time and time again. That's another perfect example. Yeah, stop making AI stuff and stop insulting people's intelligence with it as well, please. I mean, sure, there are people who are dumb enough to believe what they're watching isn't an AI when it clearly is. But not everybody is that dumb. And there's enough AI slop on YouTube as it is. Can we just stop? AI is a big problem. Again, that's something else I want to talk about as well, eventually on this YouTube channel. But Marco Rubio, yeah, he has this dejected look. He had the same dejected look, probably even more so than this during his time in the Oval Office when Mark Carney came to America to talk with Donald Trump. And again, you look at all the body language going on there. J.D. Vance, the shitty eating grin on his face. And you have Marco Rubio, the only one that really looks as dejected, more dejected than anybody else. Why? Because he knows, and he's in a position to know, and he's in a position where he can't do his job properly because, or look at the Trump administration. Can you know, again, just imagine trying to advise the Trump administration and Trump himself in the interest of national security, when Trump himself is a threat to your own national security. He is, make no mistake. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll look forward to doing the next video. Bye.